Hi guys, Slimish Devotee here with the game Zarathur. Um, I'm playing Brookner85, who I think this is pretty much literally his first ever game of Conquest. Um, so the original recording of this was an hour and a half long, and I'm going to go through and edit out all the rules, questions, and pauses and gaps that we had because he's a new player, and so there were quite a few times where we had to just stop for a second and just make sure we were doing it properly and make sure he knew what he was doing. But otherwise, I hope you enjoy the game. So he's Cato, and I'm Zarathur. Really enjoying going back to Zarathur. He's good fun, you know. A lot of people have sort of moved on and seem to be playing a lot of bigger elite things, but Zarathur's just a lot of fun. It's good time. So I feel like this is a little bit of a new player move. It's the sort of thing we all did when we first started playing, as we were like, I've got a big, tough thing, and I'm going to put it out there, and you're going to fight it. You know, so cool. Land Raider, Planet 1, in we go. So I start off with some simple stalling. I've got 2 ammo depots in my opening hand, which is really nice. So I get out the first of them. Yeah, so he's just thinking. Yeah, he's a new player. I said take your time. You know, I just want him to make sure he's thinking through what he wants to do. So yeah, there's a little jump there because he meant to set his wall or dial, but actually he wants his Promethean mine out. Alright. I go for the other ammo depot, just still stalling out as long as I can, but I think I'm pretty good now. Okay, seems to be done. So, I'm not going to use it for summoning demons yet, but it's a good little command, seeing as he hasn't got any other command out at the moment. Mark of Chaos, don't have many plans of what I could do with that just at the moment, but I'm able to put out a bit more command that I want. And I think I'm thinking about using the flamers on the first planet potentially. I decide I want to use my ammo depot to just check what other options I've got. Doombolt, that gives me an idea. So I'm thinking very carefully, and I'm thinking what I can do is I can take the fight to the first planet. I'm not sure if I put the Mark of Chaos. I probably should have. Don't know if I do. But if I fight on the first planet, and even if I don't win, but if I can do a whole bunch of preemptive damage onto the Land Raider and then run, then I will be able to Doombolt the Land Raider on the next turn. I think I was considering using the Mark of Chaos for the shield effect, so that I can take as much damage as possible onto the Land Raider, shield as many things as the Land Raider can do to me, and then leave. Alright, so check your Warlord commitment to make sure it's where you want to be, and he has to do the same. I think he realizes I don't think he had it where he wants it anymore. Yeah, here he goes. And he's thinking. He's chosen. All good. And now, time to flip. So I'm going to the first planet, I'm going to attack with the flamers, I'm going to explode the flamers, I'm probably going to attack with Zarathur himself, do as much as I can onto that Land Raider, and then I am going to run away. I just had to tell him how to flip his card. See if that works. There we go. And he goes to Planet 3. Now, as a beginner, I think he may have been either not aware or not sure that he could stop my command if he'd gone opposite me, or he might have really wanted to go to Iridial. And that really made me annoyed, because I realised when I realised he went to Iridial, that all of this damage that I'm planning to lay out on the Land Raider is going to be absolutely pointless because he will be on Iridial, and there it'll heal and the Doom Bolt will be absolutely useless. So I'm like, oh no, now I need to actually win this planet or get everything out. So yeah, I actually have to win it now, which means I have to invest more than I was actually originally hoping to. But I got a good run of command, I got a bit of resources and a few cards, so I'm feeling pretty good about that. Some useful cards as well. That's what I like about this Zara style deck that I've put together, is like every card I feel like I've got a use for it, you know. It's quite nice to have options, you know. Okay, there was a little break there again, but I go first on this battle, so 3 damage from the Flamers. And I'm just explaining it out as much as I can just to make it clear what's happening, because I'm not sure how much experience he has with the game, or maybe just how much experience he has playing against Zarathur, so he might not be aware of some of the effects or the interactions. So he takes 3 damage, there we are. And I'll just keep adding everything I can. So I'm going to blow him up straight away. I just want to do as much as possible to him, as much as I can. So that's 3 more damage. Backlash, and it's target unit, so yep, that works. That does it. Cancels the effect. I'm saying nice, and it is good, but I'm like, curses! Curses! So now I'm thinking, how much am I going to invest into this planet before I give up on the Land Raider that he can heal? Do I think I can kill this Land Raider? And I don't know. See here, I think this is the moment where I realised that he's going to be able to heal it. Oh, I took the hit. That's a big hit that I'm taking there. Maybe I'm saving the Mark of Chaos for later. Or maybe I'm thinking now I'm really going to need to stick around to be able to use this. So, okay, so my turn. And another 2 damage. There we go, 2 damage, yep. Just figuring out the buttons, that's fine. So, we ready, and I'm pot committed apparently. I've decided I am going to stick this out. So it's a 7 HP, I've done 5 damage. I have got a Cinch's Firestorm to try and do a bit of extra point to it. And he stays, he swings, so I need to just explain how that works. And at that point he's thinking, okay, I'm going to lose it. Presumably he doesn't have the shields that he thinks he needs, so he decides to retreat. But I might as well ping the Land Raider, but then he's going to get to heal it, so it's really pointless. Stefan is spectating, and he's just letting the guy know if he has a shield he might be able to do it. So let's see if that changes things. A bit of thinking, and he is happy that he's retreated. He's happy to have done that. I didn't even trigger the effect of it. Well, I suppose it was never gonna work. So I have no actions. You win Iridial, and then I'm just letting him know you can use the planet's ability. Just a reminder for him. Yep, spot on. I suppose, and I realise this at this point, I possibly could have used the Firestorm, even after he'd retreated, to try and help. See if I could have killed the Land Raider first. But, c'est la vie, it's moved on already. So, let's see what I pull off next. Warlord returns, that's it, good. And end turn. There we go. Alright, on to the next turn. We've got Taurus comes out, everything's readied. I get some Zealots and some Fanatics. So we'll see what they can do. And I go into the initiative. I just need to remind him to make sure he's got his resource from the Promethean mine. There we go, he's got that. Okay, so now I need to think about what I want to do first. The ammo dip is a good solid call. The rogue trader might be quite useful. So I have to think about what I'm going to do. The first 3 planets are a win now. The first 2 planets will lead to me winning. So I'm thinking that's quite useful. I want to bump up the effect there, and I'm possibly thinking of summoning things later. I probably should have spread that command out just to be a bit more command, basically. I'm not sure why I didn't spread that out. Okay, and he's putting out some command. He's not sure where to put it. Oh, and I just have to explain that actually it loses the command there, so we might want to rethink that. But he seems to have noticed himself and caught it, and so he just needs to realise that neither of those planets will be much good unless he's got a promotion or something. And after a bit of thought, he seems to decide to go full Space Marine, hard out, grrr, nasty, and go for Planet 1 with a scout. He's got a Land Raider that can be potentially backing it up, so it could be quite a solid option there. Right, I go for another set of cultists, and I'm thinking I can win the command, and actually I might even be able to win the battle if it stays as just the scouts. For now, anyway. And then he turns up with a freebooter captain, which I was completely nonplussed by. I completely wasn't expecting that. It's on the first planet, it's a decent fighter, and it cancels the effect of my command and his scout, but still, he's got 1 command up on my none at that planet now. So that was unexpected. And I decide I'm going to pay 3 damage to it that way. He's shifting it around, so I just, that's alright, he wants to shift it around. I do the 3 damage to the Land Raider, and I decide I want to spend the investment on the Doom Bolt, and I'm hoping that if he does come to Planet 1, that will mean I can cause, I can finish it off, and otherwise he might go to a different planet. So I'm trying to just kind of make him a bit more wary about that Land Raider, because it's a very dangerous, big, chunky card to have to deal with. Alright, it seems to feel like he's done all he needs to do, so I'm going to Doom Bolt it. It's not going to kill it, but I certainly do think I can cause a bit of trouble there. I've got a Promise of Glory I can save till later. I've got an ammo depot that wasn't going to be much use right away, but if I get a bit more resources and play a few more of these cards, it will work. Some Zealots, which will be a good fighter unit perhaps later down the line, or perhaps if I get if I pull an Infernal Gateway or something like that. So I'm fairly happy. I am winning command at that first planet now. Looks like I'm getting some cultists. Didn't think I needed to. So it's just thinking through my plans at the moment, I think. Nope, I'm all done. So freebooter, I don't want him to get the effect of the freebooter. I don't want him to get the command. So I'm shutting that down. So that means that wherever his warlord goes is the only command he's going to win. Which is great, which is fine. I'm perfectly at peace with that. He's choosing his destination, he's chosen. Okay, let's see where we go. I go to 3 and he goes to Planet 1. He does go to Planet 1. I was a bit surprised, but then again, being a new player, being really enthusiastic about things, maybe not, you know. But I get a little bit of command out of that, which is nice. You know, get a few things. What do I get? 2 cards, 2 resource. I think that's just 2 resource. So I'm thinking the Firestorm, I can possibly kill something this turn. And I just remind him that the units come tapped or exhausted. So he gets his command and taps the Land Raider. There we go. Awesome. So I'm thinking I can finish off the Land Raider. Would be a good idea. I'm not sure what else I'm going to do to stop him. Karnath is being triggered. So he can trigger Iridial, and I'm like, I don't want that to happen. So I think I'm going to Firestorm it, just to make sure it's dead. Just explaining it as fully as I can. So, my action. I'm thinking about it. Stefan, unfortunately, the time zone difference was too much for T-Mind, so he has to go. Yes, here we go. I'm very indecisive here. I'm sitting there staring at it and deciding whether or not I want to do it. I just don't want him to heal it again after all the cost and damage I've poured into it. So, 2 more damage. 1 more will kill it. So if he's got a 2 shielder, it stays alive, but a 1 shielder won't do the job. And I kill the Land Raider. I feel like I've invested far too much into killing that Land Raider, but it's dead now at least. Planet 1, he's going to be able to get me on Planet 1. I'm beginning to get a bit worried that well, actually, I was going to say that he was winning too many planets, but actually this would be his first planet, so it's not as much of a worry as I thought. Swings with the Scout at the Fanatics, nice and simple. I'm going to shield and keep it alive. That feels like a really weird idea. Why did I do that? I don't know why I did that. I possibly should have just let it die. Am I hoping to be able to kill the Scout, perhaps? Let's see. Instead, he furies Sicarius as me. That was not expected for a Fanatics. I'm not sure why I saved it in the first place, but I'm certainly not sure that was the best idea for him. I feel like that may not have been value that you got out of that. But still, he killed me. That planet is yours now. I can't do anything about it. So I'm just making sure he knew how to use the planet ability there. There was a bit of a jump, and he chose Taurus, which is, yeah, pretty good, solid choice there. Able to get his bonuses, and what does he choose? Chooses some resources, get some bigger Space Marines onto the board. So that was a nice choice for him. Alright, he gets his planet, and I should be able to do mine. So here we go, Farron. And he's got a big nasty thing here that's not ideal. He's just thinking it through. So a couple of missteps there. That's right, he got there in the end. We explained it. He's got no action, and So I attack for 2 damage on the freebooters. Takes 1 of the damages and the other. So that's good. I have no action. And then he's just making sure he understands how to use the shield effect. Throws out a Nocturne Storm Bolter to shield both of those damage. Which is quite worrying for me. I'm thinking, oh, it's a 3/3. I'm not sure how well I'm going to do there. Because he's got no damage on him anymore. Bit scary. A little bit scary. Alright, so he moves on to the attack. I'll shield that. I have no action, so his turn. A little bit of talk through about what the action windows are like there. He doesn't have an action. I've got nothing to lose there, so I'll swing with Zarathur. Alright. 2 damage to the captain. He's done 1. And there's the other. Alright, and we're reset for the planet for the new combat round. We're all standing. And I'm going to stay. I feel like I can still win this. I feel like it might be a harsh hit on me, but I'm going to stay. He's going to have a 2 shield card to survive. And he is going to run away. Thank goodness, because that could have been close for me. It wasn't an ideal situation for me, but could have been alright. I have nothing to target with that. I have nothing to route, so I move back, and I've got the only sort of things out on command at the moment, and he's only got a couple of units that aren't too worrying at this point. So I'm hoping I can roll out a few more of my different bits and pieces and get the next couple of red planets, and then that would be a win for me. So that's what I'm after. Check in with him about end turn, HQ actions. Alright, Snakebite Thug is good. Another Doombolt is okay. It's not really ideal. He's got 8 resources. He's picked up quite a few, which is quite a worry. But I'm thinking I can kill the captain with that. The Snakebite and the Zealots on Planet 1 would be a pretty good fighting force. And all of that would cost 6, which I don't have. So I'm having to think about priorities again. He's got more resources, but the same amount of cards. So he's got a few more options than I do. Right, and Ultramarines Dreadnought. I'm seeing a theme here. The Dreadnought, the Land Raider, big nasties. And now I'm thinking, is it worth putting these other things onto the first planet? The Zealots, the Snakebites. Aren't they just going to get killed? And maybe they are. So suddenly I'm having to rethink, what do I do here? Do I save the Doombolt to try and kill the Dreadnought? If I do any damage to the Dreadnought, I've got to either do all or nothing, you know. He's at Iridial, so he will just heal if I can't finish him off. So now I'm thinking, is it worth letting him have Iridial, which would put him on 2 red, 1 green, and 2 blue, which is a really good position to be in, or do I do something else? So I decide to get some tokens. It's simple enough. And he's done, and I don't think I noticed that for a moment. Oh, he does have something. So that's that's fine. I had a turn. He deployed the Dreadnought. I got the cultists. So it's his turn again. That's fine. He can do something again now. Another scout. I suppose the Dreadnought doesn't have any command. So putting the scout on the first planet there just to get the command isn't too terrible an idea for him. And now I'm looking at what have I got. I'm thinking, actually, it's not worth me going to that planet anymore. So if I finish off the freebooter captain, and then I look at the other planets, what other planets am I going to need to shore up? If I get Ferrin, that's 2 red, but I still can't win till Taurus. Balas gives me 1 green. So actually, these planets aren't going to be that useful. I've already had to kind of say that I've lost planet 1, and 2 and 3 don't really help me get that much closer to a win condition. They do finish on what's currently planet 4, but that's quite a long game, so I have to think about how can I best play that long game when he's clearly got a few big elites popping up from time to time. And just checking. But he's passed, and it reminds me, well, no, it doesn't remind me, but I suddenly think I've got the money spare. Let's get rid of that Promethean mine. He's gotten a couple of resources out of it already. It's probably paid off a little bit, but actually I want it gone. I don't want him having that resource advantage that he seems to be holding on me at the moment. I might as well get rid of a depot, and then finally, because that's got my number of cards down, I can draw 1 for there, and 1 for there. And so I've gotten some demons, suddenly I've got some units. This is worthwhile. I'm thinking I can use 2 of the cultists, I can use them up, and put the plague bearers out as a command unit, because it's a simple enough little command unit. It's not the best thing to have in a fight. It's not terrible, but it's not the best thing to have in a fight. So it's quite useful to shove down the line a bit as the command for me. So there we go. Hopefully that'll help spread out my command, give me some more options. I've decided to go to Yavan just to really spread that command out as much as possible. Maximize the number of planets that I'm drawing on. So, and he's decided where he's going to go. Chosen where to commit. Alright, and let's see where he's going. I'm done, and he's done, so we flip. There we are. I'm on 5, he's going to planet 2 to cancel my cultists. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, he's going to cancel something somewhere. But again, he cancels my cultists, but he doesn't cancel my rogue trader, and I'm wondering if he particularly wanted to trigger Ferrin, or what was his thought there. So an Ardboys shows up. That's really promising for me. I'm really pleased to see an Ardboys. Yeah, I definitely like that. Just remind him that the scout isn't supposed to be ready. He needs to exhaust that when he arrives. Give him a smiley just to make sure he knows I'm not being like a dick about it or anything. I'm just making sure he's remembered. I hope it didn't seem like it was a dick about it. Alright, so planet 1 is going to be his. I have no actions, you win, just cutting to the chase. Bit of a shame, would have been nice to be able to heal Zarathur. Zarathur's quite squishy, but yeah, not able to do that at the moment. Do have the Ardboys, so I'm glad about that. That's going to help. Okay, on to Planet 2, Ferrin. I don't think it's going to be worth the shield. Maybe worth the shield, just to stop him getting the resource for it. And then retreating at my first chance. I am looking at my shield options there and thinking about it clearly. And again, just going to cut to the chase a bit. I have no actions that I'm pulling off at this stage, so you're welcome to do what you need to do. Okay, he has no actions either, so it's his swing, his attack. And yeah, I do decide to block it, so yeah, I am making sure he doesn't get the resource, or at least I'm hoping he doesn't get the resource. I'm hoping he can't ready through any of his effects that ready. But he's got a Fury of Sicarius, takes it out. Which is, again, you know, I think the last time he played the Fury of Sicarius was for a similar smaller unit. And he probably should have given himself a resource there. I don't think he has. I think he's missed the resource. So, I mean, I don't... Maybe it was worth it? If he remembered... Oh, excuse me. If he remembered his resource, it may have been worth it, making the Fury only effectively cost 1 to just guarantee a kill. It's almost like a no mercy or a crushing blow or something in that sense, I guess. Oh, yes. Because it's fair. So I possibly should have told him about how to... Well, no, he knows how to use the arrows on Octagon. But maybe I should have said, you know, if you use the arrow to show what you're wanting to effect. But that's alright. So got the effect that it needed. So he's done there. I'm not going to bother putting anything into play on Yvonne. It was a safe place to send my Warlord and get a fairly wide spread of command. So that was why I went there. He's done quick. Cool. So no trigger. And back for the end of the turn. Okay, let's see what options I get next time. I've got a few good options here. I've got the Zealots and the Snakebites, good little fighters. The Flamers are quite good. The Ardboys are absolutely vital now. Oh, I think I was trying to... Oh, no, yes, the Scout doesn't need to go away. He took it with him, but actually it can stay at the planet. Because he already won the planet. Technically, he and Cato should both be ready for winning the planet, I think, so I probably should have told him that, just to make sure he's keeping the game state as accurate as possible, you know, as a new player, just making sure you get out of those bad habits. Another Ardboys, that's quite good. Oh, an Infernal Gateway, now that's quite nice. That works really well for the Zealots. It gives me a chance to hit him for a bit of a surprise, which is really good. It gives me a chance to hit before he can stop me, you know. It is a 1. Triggered before my reaction. Oh, I think he's getting his resource from the Fury of Sicarius now, from the Conquest. Yeah. And I'm fine with that. I mean, normally you'd have to be sort of like, dude, you should have really been paying attention. But at the same time, as a new player, keeping up with all of it, it's fine. Right, so I need to stop him there. He's got 2 red. I need to make sure he doesn't get Farron. So that's fine. I'm putting out the Ardboys, and I'm probably going to have to put out a few more things to make sure I can hold him off there. Because, as I say, I really need to make sure he doesn't win it. If he brings that Dreadnought in, it's going to take me a while to wear it down, and it's vital that I do. It's got enough resources to bring in something big again, another Land Raider or something, so I'm a bit worried about what he might put out on that planet. It's just a 10th Company Scout. And he moves it out to get some command, so I'm thinking, okay, he doesn't think he's going to win Planet 1. He's playing a bit more of a longer game. That's kind of what I'm thinking at this point. I was thinking about the cultists, possibly using them to bring in a demon. Save a bit of money, get another couple of units out potentially. But it wouldn't quite work. I'm also thinking about the Mark of Slanesh, but I don't have many things that are likely to be on the wrong planet and then needing to be shuffled over at the moment in this deck. Oh, I'm going for it anyway. Alright, oh, I think I did that because now I can put the snake bites or the flamers onto planet 3 to block his command, and then they'll still be during the fight on planet 1 because I'm expecting there to be a bit of a big fight on planet 1. Having the Ardboys as something to put the Mark of Slanesh on is really good because you know he's going to attack it. I really like the Mark of Slanesh because it creates this sort of problem for the enemy player where you put it on something that they want to kill. You know, you always put it on something that they really want to knock out as soon as they can, and suddenly there's an incentive for them to leave it alone. And they have to decide how much do they want to leave alone this unit. Oh wow, I decided to go big guns. Overwhelm his command. I was thinking snake bites to stop his command, but I decided to go over the top of it, and they will get sucked over to planet 1 once he kills the first set of Ardboys, which is really, really nice. I think I'm quite pleased with myself for that manoeuvre. As long as I get one resource, which I think, as long as, yeah, I think regardless of which planet I go to, he goes to, sorry, I will get one resource at least. As long as I get that one resource, I can play the Infernal Gateway, give myself a little bit more oomph with the firing Noise Marine Zealots at someone. Alright, and he does come to planet 1 as well, which is fair enough. I was expecting that. Alright, so we'll work our way through this little manoeuvre. Actually, Infernal Gateway on the Flamers is probably even better than the Zealots, really, because I'm getting rid of them anyway, and it doesn't matter if they... Yeah. I think he made the right choice with the Scout doing that. It was just sort of not bad luck per se, but just unfortunate that I was able to use the Orcs that way, you know. Oh, do I forget to use my... Oh, I forgot my Rogue Trader apparently. So I should have had an extra resource there. That's a bit silly of me. Oh well, alright. So yeah, using Infernal Gateway and the Flamers is probably a good call, seeing as they're going to sacrifice anyway, and if I put them in soon, I might even get a couple of rounds with them first. Not at planet 1, I have no actions. Yeah, fair enough. My best bet is to take out the Scouts at this point, I think. Just keep it simple. I suppose I could be going for the Warlord and seeing how well I do against Cato, trying to knock him down, scare him off. But that ready Scout, I think I might as well get rid of that if I can first. But I've just got to see if he's got any actions first. Oh, he does. He does have an action. It's a bit worrying. Oh dear. Alright, so he bumps up the attack of the Scout. Now, again, I possibly should have said to him that timing's important. I'm going to be going first, and he probably really wants to use that later. But then again, it's a little bit of the learning the hard way, you know. With Conquest, you begin to learn that, oh, if I do that thing, at that point, I'm actually still vulnerable. And you begin to learn, no, I really need to save these moments till when I need them to be going off. Yeah. You know, making sure that you're really getting the utmost out of your effects. Alright, looks like I'm going for the Dreadnought. I want to finish off the Dreadnought as soon as I possibly can. I reckon, looking back, a bit of hindsight, I reckon it would have been a good idea to get rid of the Scout there. But I think trying to get the utmost damage onto the Dreadnought makes sense as well. I mean, if that thing lives long enough to ready, I'm kind of buggered. I'm out of luck. Alright, so that's exhausted, and it's his turn. Yep, that's of course. And I'm going through all the motions of it being dead, despite the fact that it's not dead, which I believe he points out to me, being, you know, the newbie against the guy who knows what he's doing, in theory, but actually only 4 damage. Yep, there we go. For some reason, I was thinking the frontline Ard boys only had 4 hit points, which is a bit ridiculous. They have 5, which is fantastic, you know, like, wow. So I just throw those back out and put 4 damage on the Ard boys, which is where we're meant to be, which is, I'm a bit silly. So Brookmer 85, I'd just like to repeat again, I'm sorry about that, that was really silly of me to do that. Okay, but that does mean they get to swing back. No, it doesn't, they were already exhausted, weren't they? So for my actions, I'm putting in the demons for my swing. Might as well not put them in until it's actually time to swing for them, just in case he had some sort of effect he was able to pull off. Don't want them to suffer at all until I'm ready. And waiting for him to just see if there's any more action there. And yeah, he's just checking that it is his action. Yes, it is. Totally. Yep. I think also from the way he talks, I think he has a bit of a I think he's mixing up action and combat. What's the word? Attack, I guess. Because he's saying it's my action now, so I can swing, and then you can, you know, things like that. Where I'm just not 100% sure that he's clear on it. I mean, he says he's clear here, there, yeah. So he might be figuring it out, but I think that might be one of the things that he's figuring out. I remember when I was first playing, getting the all those windows, getting those straight in my head just took forever. And I mean, it does make for that interesting thing when you have players on Octagon, and you're like, I deploy this, and then there's just this series of done, 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 attack. You know, it's quite amusing. Alright, so it's going well. I'm managing to lay on quite a bit of damages, and then I feel like maybe I shouldn't have sacrificed it yet. Maybe I should have waited to see if I could get a couple of effects. Get a couple of regular swings out of him, being that the Ard boys would be replaced and you know, possibly everything would have readied. So a better move would probably have been to wait before sacrificing. But then he backlashes, and that's the second time, isn't it? It's quite effective. You know, his Fury of Sicarius on the small units, his backlash on the sort of relatively small hits, but, you know, obviously vital hits. You know, it's all quite interesting that he's able to do that. Action first, no action count. So he's got no action, I've got no action. He's getting into the swing of it, getting into the rhythm. And yeah, he doesn't even have to do the arrows. We know that that's what's happening. Has to kill the orc. He has to do that, and then I can pull over the other one, which is good. And I'm thinking it's going to be close. I want to finish off that dreadnought. Then I'm hoping I will be able to kill off the other things, the scouts. I'm thinking once we're ready, the plague bearers are an action speed, so I get 2 swings sort of thing, which is good. I might be alright Zarathur managed to take one out. Hopefully. See how many shields he's got left. And he's gotten rid of the bonus card, but there we go. Puts it in the discard pile. Yep, there we go. And now that's looking like a very good position for me to be in. And he's second guessing himself a bit now. He's not so sure. Okay. I would like him to run away, and then I'll have 2 red, which is great, so we'll be fighting equally on the next line. Now, for Barlas, I'm thinking I can let him win it, because it's only the 2 green, and I would have 1 green. But the next planet would be a win condition anyway, is my point. So it doesn't matter if he gets that. The only reason it matters is that he could get rid of something that I like. Simple little thing, but the wonderful thing about that is then it's my swing. He said he stayed, and I really genuinely thought he must have something more, but I don't think he did. I'm not sure why he stayed. I wonder if he didn't realise that he could leave, that he could retreat. Maybe he's waiting for me to exhaust Zarathur, and then he can bring in the drop pod assault or something, potentially, maybe? But he shields, and then he removes, which is fine, absolutely. I always am used to you put the shield card down and then move the damage onto it, so I don't see extra damage on the card before the shield and then having it removed. Although I can see that sometimes that really is a clearer way of showing what's going on. It just, when you have things like Fury of Sicarius or Crushing Blow and you're reacting to the damage turning up, it can be unclear, so you have to be sort of careful about it. Oh, yes, that hurt. How many hammers does the Warlord have? And I had to tell him, actually none. That doesn't count as a hammer per se. It's not a, what's the word, command icon. So clearly he was going to do a rally the charge with his Warlord. I was like, I'm really sorry, man. That's it doesn't work that way, unfortunately. I possibly should have told him again here, the Warlord can retreat by himself instead of attacking, because I think he might have preferred to leave instead of take this extra 2 hits of damage here. Oh no, he's got the Iron Halo to block it, so fair enough. Lots of shields being burnt here, but Cato's hanging in there, causing some damage. I'm still happy to stay, especially with the Plague Bearers followed by the Ardboys, and the Ardboys keeping Zarathur alive. I'm quite happy with it. I really think he needs to run away though. Oh yes, he's gonna do the math and figure it out. So he decides to stay, and again I'm thinking, really? I mean, he said he was mathing it out, so theoretically he was thinking it through, but that seems so unusual to me. So, okay, action. Use the Plague Bearer's effect on the Captain Cato. I gotta say, I haven't even looked at it, but I'm pretty sure it is just a target unit. So he shields some of that, fair enough. Oh yes, yeah. So then I'm attacking, because that was an action. And it is a strong Warlord ability. It is very, very good. it's quite intense how much damage you can end up pinging out at people. So he has to hit the Ard boys, which aren't dead yet still, and then I hit back with Zarathur. I know I skipped actions there, which I probably shouldn't have done, but I just... it was kind of easier. Oh yes, I have to tell them just how to get it bloodied properly. I don't even know what I was saying just before that. I got myself confused watching what he was doing, and my sentence completely fell apart. Sorry about that. It's also quite late, and I'm recording a voiceover so that you've got something to listen to while you watch the game. My brain's melting. My brain's falling apart. Okay, so I got him bloodied. I really feel like that I shouldn't have got him bloodied. Like I'm not sure why he stayed. Maybe he forgot about the Warlord ability. Maybe that was the problem. Maybe that's why he mentioned it, and he didn't account for it when he was doing his maths. But I'm feeling like I'm getting quite a good swarm, I guess is the word, built up. I've got quite a lot of stuff beginning to roll along. I'm thinking like I'm probably going to be able to take Barless, and so I don't get to lose a card, which is really important. And he pulls the Scout off, which is great, because I was going to, but he grabbed it, so that's cool. I know in a tournament sort of setting you wouldn't... oh, he puts it back. Oh, I don't think I even noticed that. I would have said that yes, I wanted it routed. So I don't want him to get the command, well, potentially get the command. So I've got another Infernal Gateway, that's really handy. A couple of Orc Cannons, which I think is going to come in quite useful. Another Plague Bearer is always good. Yeah, so I'm happy with every card that I've gotten here, and it's just a matter of doing the maths of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I can't quite play all of my cards the way I would want to. So I'm thinking about what do I want to do with these cards. Well, I think he's first, isn't he? So we'll wait and see what he does. Yep, he's just confirming where we're all up to, getting his head straight. Blood Angels Veterans. Good, solid choice. He's going to start building up on Tara, so he's decided that... oh, of course, I completely forgot that I'd be able to do that. That's wonderful. So that means I can get out pretty much everything that I'm going to want to get out. He can... Putting everything he can on Taras, he's giving up on Barless pretty much, it looks like. And because it's not going to get him a victory condition, you know, there's no point for him going for it. And I really like that, because he's going to need to buy his other card before I do Barless, or he's going to lose it. He's got to use it or lose it, you know. So that works for me. I am tempted to go to 2 with Zarathur and my units, because I'm thinking Deathwing Guard. Ooh. So he's got these big cards, so he's used it. I'm not... So Barless is not going to be that useful. Yeah, the 2 cards he ended up with, they were pretty decent. The 2 big Terminator cards. So I stall out a bit longer. Got the Demon on. Probably could have waited, but he's done now as well. So throw everything else out, and I think I'm thinking I'll just let him have Planet 1. I don't think I'm going to compete on Planet 1. I certainly can't compete for command against the Deathwing Guard. So yeah, I'm thinking I will go to Planet 2, and I will have to Infernal Gateway my Zealots in before the Barless is triggered, basically. Although I forgot that I was going to be picking up other cards, but I'm still going to do the Infernal Gateway early, I think. I don't want to risk losing those cards, they're quite important. Yep, a lot of orcs. Lots and lots of orcs running around doing my bidding. Those crazy orcs, they think that they're working for some sort of warlord. They don't realize that they are spreading the dark forces of chaos through the galaxy. But what do they care, as long as there's a fight and they can crump something? Yeah. Alright, so yep, I'm going to Planet 2. Hopefully going to clear off some of those big things. I'm not sure how I'm going to deal with the Deathwing Guard just yet, but at least they'll turn up exhausted. Whereas I've got a few different things that I might be able to cause trouble with now. Alright, so I get a little bit of command. Neither of us went Planet 2, but he gets Planet 1. I think he's scared that I turned up at the same planet as him. He's realised I brought so much stuff with me. I think he's a bit like, whoa, that's not helpful, you know? But yeah, I've got a lot of bits and pieces here now, which is great. What's he... I'm not sure what he's checking here. What's he saying? Oh, I didn't earlier. I think I claimed victory, a command at a planet where both warlords were, and it was because I actually had more hammers over the top of him. But I think we're okay. I think we're good. Do you have an action there? I might as well see if I get anything useful. That's not that useful. So that's not that useful. It's alright. Yeah, I was going to let him attack, and then I was like, no, why am I... I've got this other stuff that I'm playing as... Oh yeah, I nearly paid for it. This other stuff that I'm putting in as fodder, but better still, why not just... Couldn't figure out how to cancel it for some reason. Just play the action first instead of putting in fodder. What would have been better, obviously, is to wait until after ballast to trigger my ammo depots, and then I would be able to have the most cards possible. You know, I'd have all 3 rather than 2. So the Deathwing Guard kill my Rogue Trader, and he gets the planet and gets the trigger. So he gets my promotion, and that is fine. I am totally fine with that. That's cool. I'm all good with that. So he now has 2 green planet icons, but he already had 2 red and 2 blue, so he's already winning on the next planet anyway. Doesn't matter. So, naughty language, but he just realised, I think, that I've got some real heavy hitters here. But he can run away first. We have actions first, but the point is he can run off. I possibly should have swung with the Plague Bearers to try and do some damage to the Warlord before he ran, just to make it really dangerous for him. Oh, I do say I have 1 action. Warp Rift. That's nice. Could be fun swapping these planets out so that... oh yeah, I did get him, so great. I'm just specifying that it's an action. Swapping the planets, I might have got myself a better command out of the Rogue Trader, potentially. So he's got his 2 damage, and then he runs away. See, yeah, my action is this. It's not an action, it was the attack, but yes. My action is this and attack too. I think we're okay. So I start attacking. Snakebite thugs, take out the Blood Angels in 1. Yep, 4 damage, which becomes 3, exactly. But that means that's enough, unless you've got shields. Which, he's got 2 cards, so he might do. He's thinking about it. But no, it dies, it's out, which is fantastic. I think the Zealots, although they're kind of gone pointlessly in a sense, in a way, from this combat, I think they were the tipping point that really made him go, oh heck, and get out, get Cato to run away. So, oh yeah, I forgot my, and look, I even put it on the wrong one, I think. Yeah, I put it on the Plague Bearers. It's not the Plague Bearers, it's the Thug. I just, shocking stuff. Wasn't paying nearly enough attention. There we go, cleaned up, all good. Okay. So it's his, and he has to attack the orcs, which I don't want to do them to die. I want to keep that, so I at least get 1. 1/1/1 alternate attack, you know, stop him attacking one thing. Yeah, unbelievable. I just got exactly what I need. 5 damage. Boom. All these Marines blow apart the scouts in a teeming cacophony of bass and electric guitar. Fantastic. Oh, yeah. Trigger. I can't. That's alright. Okay, so I've got heaps of stuff here, and it is a victory condition for me with 2 reds. I'm getting a red. So he's got 2 of every icon. I have 2 red, no green, and 1 blue. But the important thing is that this planet is one that I need. And so I've managed to hold him off just enough, constantly, to be able to do this. Didn't get the exact best cards. Shrine of Warflame's alright, because that lets me get back a Infernal Gateway. And I could use that to drop in the Zealots again for this battle. But it's not the best, I guess. I'm probably going to drop out the cultists and just kind of see what I can do. And I just want to check in. Is he thinking? Is he working it out still? Or is he expecting me to have a turn? So yeah, he's thinking about his options. 4 resources, 4 cards. He's only got a couple of things he can pull out. But he's got to do what he can. He's got those Deathwing Guard, which are pretty intense. So he's got to bring them up. Sicarius is chosen. Which I was fine. I was like, oh, okay, he's going to kill the rogue trader. Oh, I'm alright with that. But then he targets the frontline Ard boys, and I'm like, okay. Still okay, but it works a different way than that. So you can put them on the other planet, or you can target the rogue traders. And given that, you know, it's a winning planet, he kind of doesn't want to put them onto a different planet. They're a body, they're something that can fight. So yeah, he does the right thing there, I think, and changes it to the rogue trader, limits my options. Okay. So I'm skipping the Infernal Gateway. I'm just going to put them in. Oh, he moved them to the table. He didn't play them. That's all good. Yeah, he's just getting overwhelmed with the chaos forces flooding the planet at the last minute, I think. If he comes to this planet, I kill him. It's just that simple. So, realistically, he should go to a different planet, but he needs the Deathwing Guard to turn up there. He needs, like, Indomitable or something like that as his only real chance before he needs to run away. But it looks pretty much like game over, but let's see. Alright. So I might as well put out another cannon, that's cool. And then Mark of Slanesh, which basically is just a that's a shield for me, you know. But I might as well put all of my forces at this planet, just all the bodies I can. You know, what else am I going to do? I need to go to Planet 1. He kind of has to go to Planet 1. He said he was pleased with his effort, and seriously, I'm just managing, like, it looks overwhelming, sort of, as you look at the screen right now, but it's a lot of little things that I've put out, and I've had to scramble to get rid of some big nasties. You know, very easily could have gone another way. So Death Guard need to be tapped. The Death Wing, sorry, not the Death Guard. That's quite a different group. Zarathur's Flamers. Not a great pull there, unfortunately. And so, action 1. And then... oh, yeah. And this is where I have to explain to him that there's 2 warlords, but I have more hammers. So yeah, it's only a minute or 2 left on the video, I think, so just wait while I explain that. Yeah. And I mean, you can see by the video it wouldn't actually have changed the battle, but yeah. 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 So I think he's got it. I'm really pleased to see there are new people picking up the game on Octagon. It's still hard to get a game in comparison to how it used to be, which is a shame, but they are there. So Plague Bearer, Plague Bearer, Plague Bearer, but then it's actually my attack, which I hit for 5. And that is a very dead Space Marine. And that's it, that's me, I win, and I also probably would have won this planet, I think. But yeah, that was a really good game, and good to see some new players. Keep your eye out for new players and help them out, help them learn the game, and keep Conquest going. That, what is it, that is not dead which eternal lie? Something along those lines. See you next time.